I usually don't come up with titles or a concept for a whole project until like the last minute, and then I start, it all just comes to me, out of nowhere. And I just start getting stuff together. So how I came up with this concept is I asked myself, what do I want to talk about, because I talked about the process, talked about the constellation, then I wanted to talk about for this project, what I've been going through, like what I've been experiencing, the positive and the negative, from each project. And it's just, all the projects been good. And that's been messing with me, because that it's like, what's next in my head, and that's not a good thing to ask yourself that this early. So I was feeling the pressure. The pressure got to me all out of nowhere, all at once, and it's like, Pops, he seen it, For this project, I only record, it's 8 songs on the project. I only recorded like 13 songs altogether for this whole project. I only recorded like 13, 14 songs. So basically, the title, Amygdala, that's a part of the brain that lets the human body react to fear and other emotions, but most research is done on fear. So this is just a project telling how I reacted and the people around me reacted in different situations.
What pressure is this? Can you describe this pressure you feel like you're facing?
Well, as an artist that really, love what I'm doing, want to raise the bar, the pressure is mostly within myself because I want to always, raise the bar and keep progressing and never stay stagnant and just make sure, I'm giving 110%. And that's really the main pressure. It's nobody I, feel like it's competition or nothing like that. It's mentally like myself, like I always want to top my next thing and, just be better. And that was the main pressure.
You feel like you were stagnant at one point?
I felt like, I was becoming stagnant or I was too comfortable.
Now, the artwork. Give me the whole concept of the artwork for this project. Why you chose the artwork to look the way it does.
Well, the artwork, I wanted it to be somewhat like a abstract, abstract cover. The answer is not all the way right in front of your face, If you look closely, well, you don't have to look closely, but now if you look at it, you'll see that the flower on the cover actually looks like a brain. And the brain amygdala is just a part of the brain that lets the human body react to fear.
The release date, was there any significance on the release date for this project?
I felt like since I released the last project in March, actually released it March the 10th, and that was a Friday, and March the 10th this year wasn't a Friday. I wanted to release it on the same day as last year, but the next Friday was 16th, and that was my birthday. It just so happened, so.
Happy with that date that was chosen?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I felt like if I would have did it later, I maybe would have contradicted myself or something like that, Yeah, so I felt like it was a good time.
The amount of songs on that project, why that amount for this one? Why 8? You had 13, but why 8? Why not all 13? Why not 10? Why not 5?
I'm just a perfectionist, and just a perfectionist. And some songs just didn't really fit the concept of the whole project, didn't really fit that concept. And you just gotta sacrifice that sometimes as an artist. You gotta sacrifice what's good for what makes sense, and that was pretty much it.
How'd you narrow them down?
I played them for different people, saw different reactions. I just play them in different situations or circumstances, different environments. And if I get like if I listen to music in different environments, they kind of make me feel different ways. But if I stay in one room and listen to music, I'm just gonna feel the same way. But if I go to a party and listen to a song and I still feel like I can vibe to this, or if I go to a dinner and I still listen to this and I can still vibe with it, you know, it's kind of like everybody can vibe to it. So that's how I picked them.
How long did that take you? That narrowing down phase? 13 to 18. I mean, 13 to 8.
It took a while. Well, not a long time, because I think my latest song that I did was, I think it was Still Got Love. That was my latest song, and I did that like a month before I dropped the project. So it wasn't that long. It took maybe about 2 weeks. 2 weeks, and then I was deciding what I wanted to shoot videos on, and it's just, yeah.
Who put this track list together, and what was the process behind that?
I did the track list. I kind of didn't. I wanted different levels throughout the whole project. You know, I didn't want to. Like I said, I never want to stay stagnant, so I don't want someone to feel the same way throughout the project. I kind of wanted like a little journey. So with the intro, you kind of see like me embracing everything that's kind of making me making a mental struggle in my head, and I'm just embracing it and allowing the people to see what I feel. And that was the intro. I just wanted to be brutally honest and just, keep it real. Then with the second song, I just wanted something to catch you off guard, and that was more like you felt more confident in that song. And actually, I think the second song, Fear, that was my latest song that I did before I dropped the project, now that I think of it.
Now, somebody watching this and may have seen the artwork, haven't had a chance to listen to the project yet, or maybe they're just hearing about this project for the first time through this interview. Can you describe the overall sound?
Describe the overall sound. Am I just my personal opinion, or from what other people have also said?
Either or maybe both.
Okay, well, my personal opinion.
Yeah, describe the sound overall of this project.
The sound would be just real music. It's real music. It's not, you could tell it's not artificial. You know, nothing is fabricated. You know, you could tell it's all coming from within, and everything that I experience. And when I say everything that I experience, people automatically go to poverty or stuff like that, and that's really not the answer. And people don't understand that, and I understand that they don't understand, so that's why I don't trip. So, yeah.
What do other people say? That was your personal opinion. What were other people saying? The overall sound.
You know, I have yet, this is just the first date, but I have yet to see a negative comment. And I actually like the negative comments, that kind of mess with me. I don't like too many, compliments like that. But a lot of people say it's a classic album when it is way too early to say classic, but I appreciate it. They say it sounds like Andre, and I usually don't like to sound like people, but that's a compliment to me, Sounding like Andre, I'm cool with that, That's one of the people I look up to.
I never heard anybody say they like negative comments.
Yeah, I like the negative comments. See, I like a challenge, and I like a struggle. I might not like it while in the process, but I know that in the long run, it'll turn into something positive.
When it comes to negative comments, sometimes one will look at a comment and they'll say, oh, this person is hating on me. And they might look at another comment and say, this person is constructively criticizing me.
Mm-hmm.
Are you able to determine which is which? Is there?
Yeah. Actually, yeah, I am. And most times I just look at, I don't really say hating. You know, I could tell someone really hating, you know, you actually go out your way and you decide at that moment, I want to hate on this person. But most of the times it's not really hating. Most of the times it's just ignorance. And it's just people not understanding stuff. And I get it, you don't understand, so you just assume. And it's, you know, that's just what humans do, you know. You don't understand, so you just assume. Maybe it's not right, but I understand.
How can one differentiate? Because people will maybe confuse the two, constructive criticism and hate. Can you explain how you can perceive one to be one versus the other?
Well, I take everything as constructive criticism, but I would say hate is just you saying negative things and not telling this person what he could do to improve whatever he's doing or progress in any way. You just saying negative things, you know, with no real solution, no opinions on how you should go about the situation. I would say that's just not a wasting time, but that's just telling someone here, meet me here, but giving me no directions, you know, saying meet me here. And if you find it, you find it, but, you know, there's no directions.
Was there any remorse in the final songs you chose for this project or the track list order? Maybe you said to yourself since the project's been out, you know, I should have added one more song or maybe taken one off. Or maybe I should have had this song a little bit closer to the top, the beginning. Mm-hmm. Maybe one of these songs a little bit farther down on the list. Any remorse since the project's been released?
Well, I done listened to the project a whole lot before it done came out, so I'm kind of happy with the order. You know, I feel good right now about the order, and I know that's probably gonna change later on because I'm gonna feel different. But I would just say the quality. I could say the quality could always be better, and that's about it for me.
From start to finish, how much time did this project take to put together, if you can estimate?
To put together, to form this whole project?
Exactly, from start to finish.
So song by song?
Yeah, from the moment you started,
mm-hmm.
the first song for this project, to the end of you picking the final track list.
I didn't know if you were talking about just like when I found the title and the concept.
Yeah,
then
the
put it all
whole entire process of this project. How long do you think?
Really, after I dropped the Constellation last year, I immediately started working on this one. But it took all year. And it took all year because, like I said, the things that I heard from the Constellation, that was like kind of new to me, you know, because people was really seeing what I was. Let me break it down like this, okay? The process, that was my first project. The process let me see, it allowed me to see that people was watching me. Okay, the Constellation, that allowed me to see that people were actually liking what I was putting out. And that was different. You know, I didn't feel that before. It's like I would go out and instead of people saying, hey, this is such and such son or this such and such on TV, it would be grown men, you know, coming up to me like, Domani, your project was dope. I was like, appreciate it, man. And that's a different feeling. And I just wanted to top the next one. So it took a long time because I just didn't want to put anything together.
Financially, how much does a project like this cost to create?
Well, I recorded most of this project in my grandma's basement, so I really didn't have to pay for no studio time. We had a mic. My cousin shout to God. My cousin, he got his own mic over there with his laptop. That's how I record most of my songs. That's where the vibe come from right now. So I would say the most that went into it financially would be promoting and videos. That'll be the most, but the actual making of the songs, not much.
Did you go over or under your budget? Overall speaking.
In my head, I didn't really have a budget. I was just making music, and I didn't have to pay for no real studio time because I wasn't at nobody's studio, you know, because my cousin, he had his equipment in the basement. I just recorded there. The intro started off with kind of like a loop, you know, the beat was kind of like a loop, and it was dope, you know, the sample kind of caught my attention. And I just did the loop, placed the beat how I wanted it, and basically just said how I was feeling right then and right in the moment. And I was hurt, you know, I was hurt, and I just felt like, you know, a lot of people just did things that just was uncalled for. You know, you might have some people you really roll with, you know, some people you really in your head you plan the future with them, like, you know, you planned on keeping them around, and then they kind of just dropped my phone. They kind of just did some things, you know, that kind of just threw you all the way off, and that's how I was feeling at the time. So then when I did that, I felt like it needed more emotion, and I had a saxophone added to it. My guy Primes, he came through, he played the saxophone, and I felt like that kind of tied it together, added more emotion, the sound that I wanted. The second song, Fear, man, it was so much work that went into that song right there. I would probably say that was the most tedious song with mastering and mixing. And I would say that because first of all, I didn't have my drive, so all the music all the sessions that I did, I didn't have my drive because my engineer, he went out of town and he forgot he had my drive in his bag, so I didn't have my drive. So he had to send me all the sessions. We had to refine all the beats, place them, you know, how I had them. You know, then I added instruments to them, made it more complicated. You know, I just wanted that sound. Added live instruments, added a bass guitar, electric guitar. My guy 88 Waves came in. He played the organ, and we just built on that. And basically, that song, I had a message to get across in my head, and that message was, I'm here. You know, I'm here, and if we got the same goals, you gonna have to deal with this before you trying to, you know, surpass me. So that's basically all I wanted to say. And the third song was it's a chill song. It's a little girl song. Got a nice little vibe to it. You know, came up with it. We actually made that whole song from scratch. Me and my guy, Narquise, 88 Waves, and Primes. We was in the studio. Damn, I was about to say the address. We was in the studio, grandma's basement, and started off with I think we started off with the drum pattern or whatever. You know, at first I wanted the whole project, because I had different concepts, so I wanted the whole project to be. I wanted the project to be like a whole smooth, wavy kind of sounding project at first. So my guy 88, he was coming up with like different melodic melodies or whatever. That makes sense. And so we came up with the drum pattern first, and then he started playing some keys, and I came up with a little pattern. And dun 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 dun. And he played it and just went on from there. He took it and ran with it. And the fourth song, Messiah produced that. That's my brother. He been producing lately. So Actually, the thing about that song, that was the first song I recorded in about 2 months. So I ain't recorded a song in about 2 months. That was the first song that I recorded, in that hiatus. And I was in the studio for a long time recording that song. I was basically just getting out all my emotions, everything that I've been building up, everything I've been feeling about the situation with the people that kind of just did some messed up things, I just got all that out. Fifth song, Used to Be. This may be like the first or second song that I recorded for this whole project. And once again, me, 88 Waves, Prime, we in the studio. They made the beat from scratch. They came up with the melody. I don't know where they got that from, but I heard it, and I just sat on it for a minute, came back the next day, came up with the hook, took it from there, Can't really explain it, some things just happen, The sixth song, after the last 3 songs really made by the same producer. This dude, D. Smallz, he really dope. The sixth song, it's no hook or nothing like that. It's just me, expressing how I feel. And I started off like, how did I start it off? I said, I remember stressing over little shit, how much niggas get paid a show, seeing Yachty sell out Summer Jam 11 days ago. Basically, I just want to be brutally honest, I didn't want to hold nothing back. If I was nervous about something or if I was afraid about something, I just wanted to let the people know, because I felt like that's the best way to connect with somebody. Just be brutally honest, let people know that I'm human just like them, because people think I don't go through the same things that they do. So that was that. I don't know. When I start talking, it's like I just hold all my breath in. I don't know why, but the 7th song is called Any Given Sunday. Came up with this, D. Smallz did this as well. I was in the studio. I did this. Usually I might do the hook first or whatever, but I did the verse first and didn't know what the hook would be until I got there. I just didn't worry about the hook at first. Did the verse. Then when the hook came up, I just said basically what came to mind and what the whole verse was talking about. I really had an idea in my head, but didn't really know. And I just made the hook off of that. And the last song I actually did twice. I did this song the first time. I didn't really like how it came out, so I erased everything. And I just did it over. Because I really liked the beat. I liked the instrumental. I just felt like the things that I was saying at first you didn't really feel it. So I just did it over, and it was dope. I usually don't do stuff over, but for some reason, I just felt the need to do this one over, and it was dope.
This beat that you got from Messiah, was that the first time you worked on a record with him?
Yeah, with me writing, yeah. I be producing with him sometimes, but I never really wrote on a record. This was the first record I wrote on.
Did you genuinely like the beat, or was it one of those, I'm gonna help put him on the tape, give him some shine?
Nah, I'm not. I only recorded 13 songs, and I don't finish a whole song if I don't see potential in it. If I don't feel it and I don't feel like, I'm just going the right direction, I'm 9 times out of 10, I'm not really gonna finish it. That's why I say I only did 13 songs. So I like the beat. Actually, what happened with this whole situation, I had called Pops, because I was really going through it, you know. The pressure getting to me. I'm like, but I ain't tell him that, you know. I'm just like, man, I ain't recorded no song in so long, you know. I don't know if I still got it. You know, I don't know if this was like a phase or something. That's what I'm thinking, but I ain't tell him that. So I'm telling him like, cause I could tell he been wanting to do music, but he just didn't want to like interfere with what I had going on. And he know that when he get involved in things, I don't really like that, because it kind of, I just like to go on my own route. And he knew that, so he kind of gave me my distance. But I called him in, I was like, man, what did I said, we need to get in the studio. I said, can we get in the studio? He booked the studio. He was like, yeah, what's going on? I was like, man, I ain't recorded no song in like 2-3 months. He was like, why? What you mean? I was like, man, what did I tell him? I said it don't seem like, every beat that I play, it don't seem like it's my style no more. Like, I told him, I said, just, it seemed like a whole different language. Like, I don't know how to start. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to start the verse. I don't know how to start the hook. It's just like, I was just overthinking everything. And he was like, you know, I was expecting him to say some deep stuff or whatever. He just looked at me, he said, bro, you tripping. I was like, man, I'm expecting you to give me some advice. You know, like, you know, you've been in the game this long, you know, I'm expecting some real advice. He said, bro, you tripping. I was like, I was tripping, you know, I was tripping. And that, honestly, I was expecting some deep stuff. Really, that's all I needed, you know. He said, bro, you tripping. And he said, just do what you've been doing. You see where it got you right now. Just do what you've been doing, you know. And he sat in the studio with me. We was in the studio. He was in the studio with me the whole time. I was in there probably about 5 hours doing that one song. 4 or 5 hours doing that one song. He just sat there. First it was just me and him. Then Tiny pulled up. And then that just made it even more nerve-wracking, because I'm like, I just keep replaying this beat over and over. They just sitting there, you know, waiting for me to finish. And I was in there for a long time recording that song, for real. But it came out nice. So back to your question, no, I didn't do it to put my brother on. I did it for myself, because I felt like, shoot, I didn't think I had it no more. So I was like, I need to get back on the ball. And I just did it. That was the beat I felt like connected with me at the time.
Very ironic how your parents are in the studio with you, and this is a beat your brother produced, and this is the song
I
you're
ain't even think about it
time.
like that, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, no features. You didn't have any features on this project. Why?
Why no features? It's crazy. I was just having this conversation last weekend. My guy J-Rock, he also helped me engineer with the project. He was telling me, you need some features. You need like some new sounds. Ain't nothing wrong with new sounds. You know, just grow as an artist. He was like, you need features or whatever. And I had told him, I was like, well, I done turned down a couple features, you know. I don't feel like that's the right way to go. And he was like, what you mean? I was like, Thug, he wanted to do music with me. Pops, you know, he got on him. You know, I just never released nothing. And he was like, you tripping, bro? What are you talking about? Because I guess, like, he been in the studio. I just had to break it down to him. You know, some things work for other people. Some things don't work with other people. Like, if I do something with a big artist and you never heard of me before that song, I'm either gonna be known for that song or they not gonna really respect me because they're gonna think you can do that. Like, you can meet this dude and your pops can set it up, get the studio, he pay for the studio time, he pay dude, get on your verse, and it's gonna blow up because that dude name, and then you on the map. You know, you don't really get respected like that. And that was my whole thing, like, not even respect, but as a person that really love music, you don't really want to do that, you know? That's kind of, I had told him that's kind of like, you know, like, you just taking the easy way out. You're not really doing it for the longevity, you're doing it for the microwave effect right now, and I didn't want that.
So that was consciously done, no features. Looking back, do you feel like you made the right decision there?
No features?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it'll benefit me in the future because can't nobody really say so-and-so got me on the map, so-and-so, you know, I blew up because of, you know, you can't really say that. And of course you could say your dad is such and such, your family is that, but you can't force the whole world to support you. You can't force that. You can't pay the whole world to keep giving, you know, they money, they paycheck, they time. You can't keep making them, you know, support you. That's what people don't understand. Of course you could pay for a billboard, you could pay for your face to be here, you could pay to be on this stage, but people are not gonna be forced to support you. And if you're being supported, you're obviously doing something right. I didn't really ask for much help, you know, other than the people that was around me. The people that's around me, they talented, they play instruments, and they all produce. Other than that, I didn't really go outside my circle to really ask for no help like that. I designed the cover, I came up with the concept. Pops, he just, oh, interesting fact. This is the only project I really let my pops in on, you know? This is the only project I really like let him know what was really going on. All the other projects, he just really heard them when it came out. But I guess it was because I just felt the pressure, and I knew when he was once in my shoes, so he would understand it. So I let him in. And he basically, I came up with the idea. I was gonna originally call it Fear, because I knew people, first of all, they wasn't gonna know what Amygdala was. They wasn't, and it's gonna be hard to promote, and it's gonna be hard to market. So
hard to pronounce, hard to spell.
Yeah, hard to spell, hard to pronounce, you know. So I was gonna just name it Fear. He was like, why don't you just name it Amygdala? I was like, you know, why not? You know, you're right. Shoot, let them figure it out. So that's how I came up with the name. Other than that, everything, I just stayed in my circle. You know, I really didn't come out, ask for no help like that. Just the people that I know.
You let in your father on this one more just to let him know what was going on, but he didn't like executive produce this. He didn't like get in there in the trenches with each song with you, that sort of thing. It was more just like you were letting him in on the pressures you were facing and needed some advice. Basically, that moment.
Yeah, basically, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't tripping, you know. I just wanted to make sure that he was feeling the same way that I was feeling when he was going through, you know, his stuff. That's basically it. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't the only person in the world feeling like this. And he the closest person I have, so, well, that's in the industry. He the closest, I just call him, you know. So I basically, without telling him what's my problem, I just let him know, man, hey, I feel it, you know. I ain't even had to tell him. He knew I felt it, you know. I don't remember exactly what he said, but he basically just explained everything that I was feeling in like a sentence or something. He was like, you feel it? I was like, what you mean? In my head, I know what he talking about. He like, you feel it? He was like, you know. I was like, hey, man, yeah, I do. And that's pretty much it. But no, he didn't, people think he write for me. People think he don't do none of that. And as a parent, I don't think you would want to do that because you would want your child to go on their own route and, build as their own individual and, just sit back and watch that flower grow. You don't really want to tamper with it too much. And that's how I feel any parent should feel like. So, no, he didn't really help like that.
Sounds like you had a lot of, even though you had other producers on this project, it sounds like you were kind of orchestrating a lot of stuff on your own. Like you're adding instrumentation to it, you're adding this, that, and the third. Do you feel like you may be going more in that direction in the future, or? I
am starting to dive into producing too, but I ain't heavy into it. That's why I don't really like to say it if I'm not all the way in it. So I'm starting to dab a little bit in producing here and there. I'm always, 88 gonna always ask me how you like this, how you like this. I might say, make it sound like this or put this here. But really, they play the instruments and they make the good music that, that appeals to me. So, yeah.
You mentioned a few different names during this interview. Is there anybody you didn't name that you want to shout out that helped you in regards to this project?
Big A, he did the intro. Primes did the sax. Big A, I got a new phone, so I didn't know how to get in contact with you. Put it on my Instagram, hit me up. He probably gonna edit all this, but yeah. Big A, D Sam's, appreciate it. Just everybody that was around me that just got to be around, during the process and just during the whole making. Shout out to Molly. She was so helpful. Molly's so cool, man. She gave me studio time when I needed it. She just been helping. And shout out to Molly. Shout out to my management, Doug, Mark. You dig. Till the next time.